Hey you peeps, look what I got. Just came in the mail today. Here, come with a brand new cookie sheet, rack, roasting pan. Oh yeah. Just a little regular flour. I'm just going to put a little buckwheat flour in. Yeah. Let's see, let's put just a pinch of salt. Use a little baking powder. And this that's some cinnamon sugar mix, brown sugar mix from a few days ago. I was making something. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just get all the dry ingredients wet. We're not going to make a put just a little bit more flour in there. Okay, there we go. There we go. I don't have any butter. Let's use a little oil in the bottom of the pan there. Yeah. Has some canned peaches. I'm going to use the juice. Yeah, just pour it right on in here. There we go. It's April 7th on this side of the planet. Oh me. The weather outside has been doing the cold one day, hot the next. Yeah, it's just been going up and down, the temperatures, and a lot of strong winds around here lately. Anyway, you know, when it's really, really cold outside, you know, you want to get outside, right? Because you don't want to stay inside, but you get outside and that cold wind and everything can kind of discourage any further adventure. Anyway, yeah, I'm waiting on some shelves to get here so I can organize myself better than I am right now. I've kind of got things scattered out. I'm still settling in here in Gumi. For the first month, I wasn't actually working with the employer who hired me, and I knew that was going to be the case before I got here. She has a couple of friends that have schools across town, and we agreed that I would come here and work for them for about a month while the foreign teacher who was already here was working out his notice. And so what ended up happening, I would live here, and then I would have to get up and go meet a bus, a school bus, and the driver would take me across town. It's kind of like having a limousine ride to and from work every day. I'm not complaining so much, but the ride was like a 30-minute one, you know, so that's kind of like an hour of my day every day, just, you know, just in the transit part. I'm so spoiled, aren't I? My school is only a 3-minute walk up the street, you know. Push comes to shove, I can get up at 1 o'clock and shower and eat and everything, and still report to work at 2 o'clock, you know. But anyway, I enjoyed working at the other school too. The teaching part has been delightful, and it gave me a chance to get to know a little bit about how other companies manage their curriculum and go about trying to help children learn English. And during that month, I have not received any payment for my services that I did at the previous school. They really took a hard financial hit. They were not able to pay me for the last half of January and none of February. Haven't been able to take care of my severance pay, and you know, they wouldn't have been able to take care of my flight to get me back home had I decided to leave the country. And question comes up, could I have fought that legally? And my presumption is that why do that? It would, you know, to hire a lawyer to do what? For them, you know, to have to maybe file bankruptcy. If they don't have money, they don't have money, you know. And I'm not the kind of person to, I don't mean to pour salt on wounds, you know. The people there, my bosses there, they were always very good to me. So I don't think, you know, they didn't go out of their way to hurt me or anything. You know, they really did suffer a windfall of a financial mess there, and I didn't know about it until almost 2 weeks before it was time to change, you know, do something. And lucky for me, they and a company manager found me a position here in Gumi. That was no problem at all. In fact, a company manager drove me to the school so that I could do the interview. And I was hired on the spot. But then that opened up a whole new can of worms as far as the immigration process goes. It's a new thing now. Before, having copies of my official copies of my transcripts and my state criminal background check was enough to satisfy immigration requirements, but it's just in the last year been undergoing changes. Now we have to have our certified diplomas with an apostille applied to it from the state, from a federal court in the state where our school is, and we have to have a federal background check from the FBI, which means we have to send fingerprints to the FBI, and then they send them back to us, and then we have to send them to the Department of State in Washington, D.C., for them to put an apostille on it and then send it right back to us. Well, it's all well and good, except that I don't carry a credit card, so I can't take care of the fees online. So I've had to bother my family members to help me get that part done. And I got my diplomas, had to have 2 copies of it. Now a copy is required for the Immigrations Department here and the Department of Education here. And both departments want that background check. And clearly on the FBI website, they tell us that it could take as much as 8 weeks before we hear back from them. And what's stressing about that is that what you might hear from them is that your fingerprints might not be acceptable, you know? You've waited 8 weeks. And anyway, but see, remember, I only had 2 weeks to really get this thing going. And it turns out that my alien registration card is no longer valid because, I'm no longer with the school that I was with, and because that's no longer valid, I cannot remit money from Korea to anywhere, and I can't renew my health insurance coverage, which kind of sucks. I've got enough medications. I take blood pressure medications. I've been doing that for about 10, 15 years now. I've got enough to last me about another month, and I guess if I had to, I could go have a checkup and have, more medication, just pay cash for it all without the insurance. Usually the insurance covers about 60% of the cost of the prescription, so, But anyway, so I'm still waiting on communicating with my family. Has not been the easiest thing because I'm 12 hours difference from them, so getting them when they're online, and then plus they have their own busy lives to live, so it's not been an easy thing, and here I am just waiting. I just want to get all of this stuff done so that I can kind of relax a bit, because if I don't get that FBI background check, then, I have to prepare myself for the worst, I guess. And I don't want to whine about things, it's just that's the reality. So anyway, I've been doing my best here to kind of just live as if I'm going to be here forever. So I bought me a brand new oven because I left the old oven back at the other apartment, and the first thing that I cooked in this one is what you saw me put together just a few minutes ago. Going a month without an oven, you're talking about serious withdrawals here. Oh me. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm with my real boss. I'm working there. I put in 1 week of work there. And my boss here, they've all been very good to me. They bought me a refrigerator full of groceries when I first got here. And then just the other day, at the end of the work shift, my boss told me to go with her brother to the supermarket. And I'm like, what for? And I saw her give him a credit card, and she said, you go to the grocery store and buy you some food. And I really didn't need any. I mean, I got paid from my previous, from the other boss that I worked with across town. He paid me. So I've got money in the bank. So I've not needed, anyone to help me with food and anything. And I had enough money in the bank before, to kind of, carry over a bit. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, it was just totally surprising. And yes, we went to the supermarket, and her brother just encouraged me to buy, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to buy too much because a lot of this food can spoil, and I don't eat too many canned goods, and I like fresh foods and all, but I got enough to take care of me for, a while without having to go to the grocery store again. So, and then I was just talking. I really wasn't talking to my boss. I was saying something about need of a computer desk. I'd like to have one here in the apartment. And then at the end of the shift that day, she asked me, she says, what color computer desk do you want? And I'm like, excuse me? She says, what color do you want? Do you want brown? Do you want very light brown or a windy color? And I went, what? She says, I'm going to order you a computer desk. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. And she says, yes, I'm going to do that. It should be here in about a week. Oh, me. And then we're all going to have lunch together before work on Monday. And when Koreans get together for a meal, they have a great big spread of food. So it's like, oh me. I haven't had much time to really get out, and I haven't really wanted to because of the cold weather and plus all of this going back and forth and kind of just stressing out a bit over this immigration things. I just haven't felt like getting out and doing a whole lot, but anyway, yeah, it's April the 7th, and that's the way it is, 2012. So, I'll talk at you guys later. Maybe before this video's over with, I'll show you this peach cobbler I put together. Yeah. Wish you could be here. I'd be glad to share it with you, but you're not. Take care. Bye-bye.